Welcome back to our exclusive coverage of the PBA Finals. Game 1 po. At the half, lamang ang Alaska 48-42. The Aces battled from 11 points down to turn things around. At sila na ngayon lamang by 6. Miko Alili kasama si Jason Webb. How did Alaska do it? San Miguel was so energetic in that first quarter, but then Alaska turned the tables on the Beermen late in the second quarter.
You just said it right there. San Miguel started out really strong, and then parang nawala ng baterya. They just it just turned off for them. In the first quarter, they were up 25-19, but they got killed in the second quarter, 29-17, not doing anything right. And it seems that the rest of the locals have to pick it up for San Miguel, because Freeman has 20, but after that, not a lot of those local support that we were expecting from a very talented local crew.
Let's go through the webpage, starting with the Alaska side of things. Let's click on the webpage. At ano na ang nangyayari sa Alaska in this game?
Number one was to get easy baskets. I don't think they did a good job of this when it came to the free throw line. Only 6 out of 11. But turnover points, 10 points. All of that coming in the second quarter where they made that run. So apparently, if eventually, na-correct nila yon. Diamond must shine. Diamond Simpson obviously having a good game. 19 points and 9 rebounds. That's very good for them as well. And then they have to contain Freeman. They haven't done that because Freeman has 20 and 9, but the rest of the locals have not come up, like we said, for San Miguel.
So nagsimula na ang second half. The Aces have Baguio, Tenorio, De La Cruz, Devance, and Simpson. And Cyrus Baguio connects. Baguio now in double figures with 11 points.
And it seems this Alaska team, their confidence just getting bigger and bigger with each game that they play together here in the playoffs.
They're coming off of Game 7. Lamang ng pahinga ang San Miguel as Freeman becomes too energetic in that play. So offensive foul laban kay Freeman. And yet, Alaska, they're leading here 50-42. Here's the webpage for San Miguel.
For San Miguel, we've said that they had to beat LA. LA hasn't been that big of a factor yet in this game. 5 points and 3 assists. They had to push the tempo. They didn't do that. Only 4 fast break points, and finally utilized their depth. They only had very few points from that bench. But even worse, Miko, when we take out the 8 out of 11 of Freeman from the field, the rest of the locals of San Miguel only shooting 33% in this game.
Mintis ang unang free throw para kay Arwin Santos. And now let's turn you over to Patricia Bermudez-Hizo.
Assistant coach Gia Bonilla went over their concerns in the locker room, and topping their list is how they gave up easy baskets and transition points to Alaska. They had good defense also on Diamond Simpson in the first quarter, but that disappeared in the second. Offensively, coach says they should be the one dictating the tempo, but poor execution did them in. They are just forcing their outside shots, and like you guys said, the locals are not as involved. Expect all of those to change. Miko, Jason?
Turnover by the Aces. Here's Freeman.
They just mentioned they had to push the tempo and start dictating the tempo right there. Good job of Alex Abagdon to push the ball up and to look ahead and give it to Freeman.
Ani pa rin ang lamang ng Alaska, 50-44. Shot clock down to 10. Devance has the ball over to Simpson. Shot clock down to 6. Simpson against Washington. Gives the ball up. Baguio against Ontiveros. Shot clock down to 1. And Joe Devance fails to connect.
And credit Don Ontiveros for not jumping on that little fake of Cyrus Baguio, and that forced shot on the part of Joe Devance.
Look out, Devance all alone.
No, he's gotten better and better at leaking out.
which is something Arwin Santos does so well. Pero ngayon, itong Alaska, dahan-dahan lumalayo. They're on top by 8 points, 52-44. Freeman was the man of the moment for San Miguel in the first half, and a wild shot there para kay Freeman.
And for San Miguel Beermen, just watching what Freeman was going to do.
Baguio stopped. Here's Devance. Devance for 3. Short. Here's Washington. Nice move.
So Alaska is also a very good defensive team. So San Miguel also gets easier shots when they push the basketball and not allow that defense of Alaska to set up, especially they have to set up before Diamond Simpson gets to the middle of the paint.
Here's Simpson, middle of the paint, but he missed the turnaround, and it'll be last touch on San Miguel. Let's go to Chicky Reyes.
Thank you, Miko. You know, it was a serious huddle for Alaska's coach. Tim knows that this game is far from over. Now he wants his boys to take out the energy boosters of San Miguel, Freeman and Santos, by boxing them out and preventing them from running the floor. Second, Diamond should know when to kick out and when to be aggressive in attacking when he's being doubled. And lastly, they have to play the pick and roll well to contain the perimeter shooters of San Miguel. Miko?
Washington has been very active here on offense para sa San Miguel. And the second personal here, laban kay Diamond Simpson.
Just that play right there, early offense again on the part of San Miguel, but then they're really not moving that basketball very well. I was looking at the assists of the first half. Alaska has 12 assists in that first half. San Miguel, only 6.
And if you're just joining us, Jay Washington siya po ang hinirang, the best player of the Fiesta Conference. The second free throw brought to you by BMEC Derby Ace Premium Formula. Dito ka na sa Llamado.
And who would have thought 2 years removed from Talk and Text where people felt that he was underperforming. Right now, he's in a San Miguel uniform and he's the best player of the conference. So you might say that trade working well for San Miguel.
There's a preemptive foul given up by Cyrus Baguio. Now going back to Washington. When you're named the best player of the conference from one of the most loaded teams in the conference, that says a lot. Sa yung galing sa antas ng iyong laro.
At pinapakita niya naman muna. I was looking at the numbers. He averaged about, in the semifinals, 16 and 9. Then in the eliminations, he was about 14 and 7. And he was the most consistent guy for their team. Also, a lot of trust shown by Coach Shot Tangkinsentu on the way of Jay Washington.
The foul laban kay Tony De La Cruz, and that foul will send Washington back to the line. Washington has been very busy here in the early parts of the third. Pasok ang kanyang unang free throw. Of course, Commissioner Sonny Barrios, right alongside Madam Nena Barrios. Patuloy action dito sa third quarter. 2-point lead for the Alaska Aces. Game number 1 of this best-of-7 series. Bola na kay Simpson. Simpson with 19 points in this game. Tenorio outside Baguio. Baguio to Devance. And now back to Simpson, pero bola na sipa. Palabas ni Gabe Freeman.
So San Miguel has eaten into this lead the same way how Alaska eats into the lead of their opponents. Quietly, before you know it, they're just down by 2.
Tap out by Cabagnot. Shot clock will stand at 10 seconds. Under 8 minutes remaining here in the third. Timeout muna tayo with 7:56 remaining in the third quarter of game number 1. Back in a moment.